Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. We're doing a Saturday live stream, and we've had a couple. We thought about doing them on Fridays, but I want to be a little flexible on the day because, I want to have a life here in Maine, and I took a little excursion Thursday and Friday. So we're doing it today, and we've got some interesting questions for you. I do have this live stream set for live chat replay. I even took a picture of the screen and sent it to Julie, my moderator, Trans Granny. And I'm trying to get it. Now, YouTube shenanigans are at play here. Comments aren't always loading. Replay hasn't been working. We're going to work with the system the way it is and do it with love and light and good humor, okay? Just want to kind of put the rules of the road down here. I will look at what I think are some interesting subjects, and we'll see what the cards have to say. I don't pussyfoot around about what the cards are telling me. I don't always like the message, like when I did one a week or so ago about 46, but I truly feel like if I am not accurate in talking about what I see in the cards, that it can impact any intuitive gift I have. So don't shoot the messenger, basically, okay? Number one. And number two, remember, in any tarot read we get, the fewer of the major arcanas there are, and I'll always tell you when there's more than one, I'll try to point them out to you. The fewer major arcanas there are in any card read means the more fluid or, changeable this outcome can be. It's giving us some information, like shining a little spotlight on one moment in time. But without the major arcanas holding it firmly, there is a chance for change. That's why when people didn't like one of those answers we seem to get for 46, I said, hey, Len, let's use our powers of manifestation and our powers of consent, because those can work together really powerfully, and say, I don't consent for that to be the future. I don't consent for that to be the timeline that I and living humans are on. I want to make manifest a departure sooner. So, like I said, not only don't shoot the messenger, but understand that we have some power over these events, even though the tarot cards do try to give us some clues and insights if we ask an accurate question and close those loopholes that can make for muddy responses. Okay? Well, I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're here in love and light, curiosity, that's fine. Even a little healthy skepticism is okay too. I'm going to state my intention right now. And I do believe very sincerely that there's a loving creator. I know other people don't, but I do. And I'm going to state my intention that any energy that is being sent towards this live stream or trying to influence this live stream, if it's not love and light, that it just be simply diverted right away and sent to source, my loving creator, to be purified and reused according to our creator's will. So on the one hand, I don't want negative energy here, but on the other hand, considering where it's being sent, even the most negative intention is going to help clean up this plane of existence and make our world a better place. So haha, you're part of the light whether you like it or not. Okay, well, let's get to the tarot questions. And the first one I'm taking is from Roman E., who is saying, how come in some of the leaked photographs we're getting of the U.S. currency, they're showing structures such as the White House and the Statue of Liberty, which we know is really a statue of ISIS, that there's some things in those supposed images that just don't jive with an ascension timeline, with where we go one, we go all, with where we're trying to head as a human race, as a country, and as a human race. So now it's a possibility that those notes aren't going to, they may be collector's items, relics of the old world, what have you, but let's see what the cards have to say. So I want to craft the question carefully, and thank you, Roman, for, I know you've mentioned it in the comments more than once, I've seen it. So let's see what the universe has to say. We're looking for insights and information about the new rainbow currency for the United States. The images on it that were being shown will be on them that relate to old world symbols of the deep state, darkness. I'll just leave it that general. Can we have some insights on if those are going to be, even I have huge questions about the whole NASA thing. And I saw there's one with an astronaut, and I thought, oh, yeah, right. So let's see what the universe has to say about that rainbow currency. Are the images firmly set in place? Will they be changed over time? What insights and information does the universe have for us about the rainbow currency that's for the U.S.? Now, I'm not going to do the board that I hold up, okay? I will try to have the cards down here where you can at least get a glimpse of them, and then we'll talk about them. I'm very aware that I need to be close to my laptop for you to hear me, okay? So by the way, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up here, okay? And I've got a 2-second delay on this, so I know it'll take a little bit to get those thumbs up, but I just want to make sure you can hear me okay from this distance. If not, I'll get closer. Okay, so what I'll try to do is, I may be a little muffled as I talk about the cards here, but when I talk about what I'm seeing in them, I'll face you at least this distance, okay, everybody? All right, so our question again for the first read is from Roman, and it's about the rainbow currency. We'd like insights and information because some of the rear-facing images aren't of love and light. We're worried about those. So let's see what the universe has to say. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Our first card, High Priestess, the Keeper of Secrets. Okay, 9 of Cups, Ace of Wands. So yes, we are getting Tower. We are getting that rainbow currency. Death. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles and Temperance. Okay, now I mentioned that I would be telling you how many major arcanas we're seeing. There are only 22 in a tarot deck. Out of those, so less than a quarter of the deck, okay, or just over a quarter. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 7 cards are major arcana. So thank you, Roman. That says this is a great topic. The universe considers it timely and needed to have, okay? So the situation was indicated by the High Priestess. As I said, and I've said it in the past, she's kind of the keeper of secrets. Interesting, when you're doing a personal read, she can do some interesting disclosures. But this isn't a personal read. This is a political, current events one. And in that, she's always signifying, see the veil behind her, that there's some secrets, but they're really close to coming to the public. Okay, the information's very readily available in the near future, just not at the moment of time that we're asking about that. Now, situation's clarified a little more by the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is one of, I call it my 90% card, that you're going to be 90% happy, okay? So what I'm seeing is that even if those images first come out as we're seeing, ultimately we're going to be pretty happy with what we see. Now, here's why I said that. First of all, we got a big yes that we are going to be moving to the rainbow currency. We've got, I love this, we've got the Tower showing up in the present. So I've been wondering, we've got multiple Tower moments happening. One happened with the London Bridge event, okay? One is definitely going to be happening with our financial system, okay? Now, we know there's a few things we just know. These are absolutes, okay? Banks are failing, okay? There is and they're going to have to continue to fail, and they're going to fail on 46's watch. The tower moment is going to be when that all changes and the rainbow currency comes out. So we can be looking for a tower moment associated with finances, absolutely. Now, the near future card shows death. Now, death very seldom in tarot cards means death. It's one of the things when I was first trying to learn it that kind of blew my mind. It talks about a long, slow change, a transformative, a chance, an ending of one chapter and an opening of another. So it's showing up in our near future that this tower moment is happening very, very soon. It's in our present, and I don't really know what the window of time is on that present and the near future, that transformative. Now, this is where we're talking about the rainbow currency. So I think that the rainbow currency is going to be transformed after it's initially given to us. As people wake up, they're going to be changing those images. However, we just need to know, I shouldn't say however, just know this. Our main insight and advice card about that is the Three of Pentacles, which is telling us that these changes will be done on a very firm foundation, a very good foundation. Okay, so the rainbow currency is going to be asset backed, which is going to take inflation off our worry chart completely. Okay, and the rainbow currency is going to be a very stable currency. And I'm personally not going to worry about the images on it because I think those are going to change as people become more aware, they wake up to where we are. We have to understand there are people that today is the day they're going to learn about the Red Shoe Club. We've known for years, most of us. Today is the day. Some people are going to learn about hybrids. Today is the day. Some people are going to accept that there was balloting fraud. So we have to be very compassionate that not everybody's where we are on that information flow chart. Okay? And people wake up to certain topics faster than others. So that's why I'm not going to worry too much about the images, but I do look like they'll change. We have a moderation card for a further insight on that. And that's the Temperance card, which say, don't worry. There's going to be some changes and tweaks to the system as it comes out. Okay? So to recap on that one, the rainbow currency, if the images we're seeing are the ones that roll out, they will be fading and changing over time as people can accept some more of our true history and what's happening with them. The good news is we now know that the financial situation, the banks, the stock market, things like that, are very much tied with the tower moment we can be watching for. Okay? It's kind of like a slow motion thing because there's so much mainstream cover up of it. There's so much bank bailouts happening, which is hilarious because they're bailing them out with fiat money. So it's kind of inevitable. And like I said, I haven't taken my money out of the bank. I figure those accounts are mirrored and I'll be fine. And I'm not going to worry about the rainbow currency, but I might keep a few of the smaller denominations, just kind of like for scrapbook purposes, for history, to say when we first switched from fiat, as we were going from 3D to 5D, and we went to rainbow, here's what some of the images that they thought were acceptable and people might consider patriotic. Boy, do we know differently now. Okay? All right, so that's it for the first three. I just want to pick up one more card. Card of agreement. Okay? We have the Two of Cups showing up here, and that is when it can sometimes show a relationship, but it is just a card that there's agreement going on. I think this one is showing us that, yes, there's that mirroring going on with our financial system. No worries, people. No worries. Okay, now I'm going to pick these cards up, blend them back into the deck, and then I've spoken in the past about how, and if you're interested in card reading, it's good to know, The universe kind of listens to our question and sets the cards up for the answer. And if you don't, what they call clear the deck in between this and a new topic, you're going to get kind of similar cards to your previous ones. Now, understand if we're still on a current events thing, sometimes like, my 5 of Cups is often 46. So it may show up in 2 or 3 questions. That's not that same answer happening, okay? It's just that there's a certain meaning tied to a card. So to clear the deck, okay, I tap it on all 4 corners. Then I'll shuffle it thoroughly when I come back to it. I'm going to use another deck in between and let this one sit on a bar of selenite, which is a universal recharging. It's great to put your gems on if you don't follow when moonlight and or get them out in the sunlight or what have you. Just get some selenite. I have little tiny pieces in with all my hearts. So the gemstone properties of those hearts is always kind of fully charged. And the tower behind me, I'll often lean some selenite up to it, although I've been trying to remember to set it in the windowsill on moonlit nights. So anyway, you can call that hooey if you want, just sharing that with you. Okay, I'm moving to another deck. And my next question is from one of our beloved subscribers and commenters who's been asking so patiently for this topic. And this is Tactical Soul Survivor. He's been asking, he's really concerned about the doomsday maps that came out in the 1970s. You can do a search for those with Google. Even Google has it. Just ask for the doomsday naval maps that show that if there is a world event that involves, for example, the ice melting at our pole, I'm not going to say poles, ice melting, period, between the ice walls and the North Pole, that the sea levels could conceivably rise. Now, again, this is going on the premise that we're living in a spherical world and there's going to be no other place for that water to go. Okay? So, and if that were the case, then we'd want insights and information. But I think it's quite likely that when we've heard of talk of the ice walls, okay, even if you still consider it as part of a bigger sphere, I think that that's a possibility. So I don't want to ask a question in a way that the universe can't comment on that if it chooses to. So the doomsday maps that were put out starting in the, I think, 1970s, showing how far inland would be underwater if sea levels rose. Is that a topic we need to concern ourselves with? And are there other insights and information the universe wants us to know? Okay, let's find out. If our planet's in the process of ascending, is it even going to be a worry? There's so many ways this could go. So TSS, I apologize if you wanted a whole video about this. It could easily have become one, but let's see for today what the universe wants us to know about those doomsday maps and any situation that they might impact humanity with. Insights and information. Okay, let's find out. Okay, we have Temperance card showing up again. New deck too. We have Wands, 6 of Wands. I'm already getting a don't worry. It's never, and this is a moderation card, so I'm already getting a don't worry. Let's see if that vibe continues. We have the Page of Cups, which is a card of pleasant surprises. We have the Justice card showing up for the front and center in the current events. Then we have the 9 of Swords, which always means there's not nearly as much to worry about as you might think there is. We have the 3 of Wands for looking out at a path or the world in a new way. I think I'm getting a nod about that ice wall. Okay, and we have the Hierophant showing up. So in this one, out of 7 cards, still more than statistical probability would suggest, we have the Temperance, Justice, and Hierophant. 3 out of 7 cards are major arcanas. Again, giving a nod to the importance of the question and the trust factor of the information that we'll have. So our question was indicated by the Temperance card, which I said already, that's a card of moderation. It's a card of, and there's a lot of water involved here. And look, she's barely wet, okay? So if the sea levels rise, it's not going to happen nearly as much as we would think, okay? In fact, we're getting a victory card here with a 6 of Wands, yeah. And it's one of my white hat cards too. Just saying, in other words, don't worry. Those doomsday maps, that was for a world that we're just not living in anymore, one way or the other. Okay. Recent past. Part of the reason I say we're not living in that world anymore is because we have had a quiet and pleasant surprise. All right. Our world is changing. Humanity is waking up. We are going to be losing our shackles and the constraints we've had that have kept us from growing and learning and being all that we can be, okay? And that's in the process of happening. And the reason it is because of justice. It is only right, after thousands of years of having our DNA shut off, our health systems impacted, to be used as products and food, and not allowed to be sovereign and to take our place at a galactic table as contributing members. Justice is stepping in, because that's going to change, folks. All right? We may be junior members at that table, but we deserve to be members. And we will have contributions to give at that galactic table. After being enslaved for thousands of years, don't you think we'll have a heart for freedom, for sovereignty, for making sure other races, even if they look way different than us, don't have that legacy, don't have to overcome those obstacles, don't allow the creatures that set that up to be able to do it ever again any other place. We're going to be warriors for freedom. And we will earn our place at that table, even if we need to be mentored and taught and grown. We don't need to be ruled and overseen. Okay. And again, TSS, not as much to worry about as you think there is. Okay. All right. Like we saw with the Temperance card, if there is a little bit of water rising, it's not going to be insurmountable. It's not going to be so sudden that people can't get inland, come up with other ways. Who knows? It may happen when we're so far along this ascension path that people can just teleport out of the way. All right. Near future, main advice card, 3 of Wands. Beautiful card. Chloe's talking in the background. She thinks it's a beautiful card too. Yeah, honey, it's okay. Okay, she may be over here in a minute. When she makes that meow, she's had a bad dream or something, and usually she's right here. It's okay, hon. Yeah. Okay, anyway, the 3 of Wands is when we're on a new path, and we are on a new path. Like I said, we've had that gift. Whether we see it or not, whether it's fully unfolded, whether it's fully evident, that's in our recent past. And moving forward, the one thing we do have little insights here, we do have the Hierophant card, which can be a wisdom, but it's usually a wisdom that's very kind of dogmatic and strict. Okay, it can be a deep state card. I'm not seeing it here in this where it's showing up as the least important advice card. You may see a tail here in a second. We've got a visitor. But we're going to just say that we'll know that, yeah, the outgoing systems of control and stuff are going to not go quietly. But I think this is just more of, as our wisdom grows and stuff, and we learn new facts that are incontrovertible, we're going to see that there's so much less to worry about than we think there is. Okay. That's it for that question. I've got a cat to get off the desk. Hang on just a minute. This is a home production. What can I say? Oh, Chloe, I love you. Yeah, that's her bad dream meow. When she does that, when she wants a little love, she's had a bad dream. Oh, by the way, I have some news. This morning in my email, I finally got a shipping notice for my new computer. So it's shipped, completely shipped. So those of you that have had some frustration with a combination of my soft voice and the microphone that's part of this laptop I'm using, I hope that your patience is going to be rewarded and the new system will be much more agreeable. Still not going to be, like studio professional quality, but you know what? If it's not, I'll buy one of those headsets and wear it. The thing is, I tried in one video way earlier, I tried a pin microphone. And with tarot reading, you turn enough that it was still making the sound come and go. So, but I'm not averse to having a headset type of microphone if I need to. But let's wait and see when that one gets set up, if it's not better quality and it's easier to listen to me. Okay? All right. Now, I have another question here. I really want to get to this one. Okay. JB has said more and more often he is able to see on podcasts and created content that someone is only pretending to be human, that facade, that mask they wear, and I'm not talking about the vinyl ones that are, 3-letter agency quality ones, but the mask that they wear as they mimic human existence tends to slip a little bit. At first, you almost don't want to believe your eyes, or you think there was a glitch in the pixelation or what have you. Okay? But he's noticing it more and more. So a question he and I both have for the universe. I want to make sure I tap this deck 4 times. Actually, I think we'll go back to the one with the stars. We know, as I said, those shackles are leaving us and we're starting to grow. Our intuition is growing. Our manifestation abilities are growing. Our discernment is growing. And I'm talking about as a race. Almost without exception, unless people really resist it or they're like high 2D in their existence, people are getting those skills. So I don't know where your lens is. I may be speaking of topics you're not ready to accept, but I accept that we have people walking amongst us who are only pretending to be people walking amongst us. And this next read is going to be kind of along those lines. You may want to skip ahead 5 or 10 minutes if it doesn't resonate with you. Okay? Or just laugh at us as we talk about it here for the next few minutes. So, my question to the universe is, with our improved and improving, I won't say improved because we're not done, with our improving powers of discernment, of manifestation, of intuition, of inner knowing, will more and more of us be seeing through those facades? Will it be harder and harder for the mimics to mimic being human in the, let's say, in the next year? In the next year, will more of us be seeing these? Well, and I want us to stop thinking of them as video glitches. Let's think of them as the mask slipping, okay? So in the next year, will this be more and more commonplace? And are there other insights or information the universe wants to share as we humans learn to see beyond those masks and know who is walking amongst us, who is not truly human. Doesn't mean they don't deserve to walk amongst us. Maybe they did it just so they wouldn't be tarred and feathered. But the mimics, let's see if we're going to be able to see them, discern them better in the coming year, and other insights and information. And thank you, JB, for that topic. Okay. Our first card is the Ace of Cups. We're getting a hell yes, guys. Oops, card fell. Sorry, I touched out. And it's only one. It was the Three of Wands. Okay. Then we have the Three of Cups. So we're getting a yes, yes, and it's about damn time, and the universe is happy already. Another ace, Ace of Wands. Two aces. Yes, baby. Then we have the Seven of Cups, which I sometimes call, can be a smoke and mirrors one. And that, interesting. The Lover's card shows up. And the Ten of Swords. So let's talk about those. Okay. So with the Ace of Cups, that is a card indicating some psychic abilities and potential. Okay. So we're getting at, this was the one I said meant hell yes. Okay. We're going to be more able to see who's walking amongst us, who is a natural human or not. Okay. Part of that is because our world is changing and we are changing with it. This was the further information card. Okay. Since this had nothing to do with the product made for entertainment purposes with our little ones, this is just a celebration card saying the universe, and it's not a major celebration. It's just a moderate celebration. If it's a personal read, it could be telling you to celebrate, but do it with moderation, okay? But in this case, we're getting just a nod that the universe is glad that we're getting those abilities and starting to use them and trust them. Okay. With the Ace of Wands, it's a potential card, new beginnings, okay? We are, the skills that were considered science fiction that are actually part of our DNA that are getting activated and used, we're at a gateway of some just amazing times and abilities, guys. Absolutely. Okay, now we're looking at the near future. Okay, now this is a card that can indicate choices, but it can also indicate when someone's trying to get you to look here, not there, look here, not there. And the mimics amongst us have been doing that. Okay, and since we're getting the nod here that they're going to be less able to cloak themselves and fool us, okay, I don't think this is a choices indication, but just, yeah, they're going to still try to pass as human. They're still going to, for whatever reason, and like I said, let's not think that it's all nefarious, okay? What if you were a benevolent being whose natural countenance was 8 feet tall and blue-skinned, and you were trying to help free humanity? If you had cause to be down here walking amongst us, you'd kind of need to look like us just to avoid chaos, mayhem, or, bodily harm done to you when you're trying to help. So not all of the cloakers need to be feared. None of them should be hated. Some of them should be laughed at, and some of them should be rejected, okay? But as we look at those choices, let's do them wisely. Our strongest insight card here is the Lover's card. That is a card of partnership. It is affirming that in some cases, we're being helped by benevolent others who don't look like us. and they don't need to be rejected or feared. Okay? As our abilities to discern these others grows, we also need to be able to better discern their purpose. Okay? Now the lesser insightful card here is the Ten of Wands, which is not a card of, in this read, what it's saying is it's kind of an ending. It's the start. Again, we're getting lots of cards here saying that we're at a transformative stage for both our world, our country, for humanity, for our abilities. And again, we're ending an old era and moving on to a new one. And we knew that new one on the very concrete and real end of things is going to include asset-backed currencies and sovereignty and improved health and freedoms and technologies. And on an inner plane, it's going to be heightened intuition. If you've got the potential for gifts that are psychic, what we consider now to be psychic and may eventually be every day, intuitive or what have you, those are going to be changing because we are at a period of change. And I truly believe we chose to be here. I don't believe we were forced to be here. I believe we chose to be here for this moment in time, for the parts we're playing in it. Okay, that's it for that one. I'm glad only one card fell. I didn't want you to think I was trying something silly. I will be putting up a video later today if my voice holds out. It's much improved, so it should. Please don't think I'm only going to be doing live streams. I am, as I said, I'm going to try to make them more part of a regular thing. They do seem to be well received. It's sometimes a chance to touch on a topic that wouldn't require a whole video. So I like that. And I like just knowing that I'm going to topics that interest you. Okay, new deck. My next question comes from Adam G. And it was pretty general, but it's going to tie, I think, really nicely in with what we've already been talking about. How will our world look 1 year from today? Now, we need to be careful about this. I think there's multiple timelines. Okay, so I'm going to close some loopholes up in that general question in this way. Okay, on our current timeline and the path that most of you viewing this right now and I are on, what will our world look like 1 year from today? Insights, advice, and information are sought. Again, trying to close some loopholes by asking about our timeline. Those of us, myself, and those of you that are watching this today, for the majority of us, what will our world look like in 1 year? Okay, the Empress. The Nine of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. Justice. We have the Ten of Wands. Nines and tens are getting to endings of things and the start of something new. And we've got numerous nines showing up in this one already. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, let's talk about those cards. First of all, out of this card, out of these 7 cards, we only have one that is a major arcana. It's a big one, and it's showing up in the near future, the Justice card. Okay, but that says that the information that we might glean from these cards can be in flux. This is always your advice to, okay, if you don't like what I say here, or you want it faster, better, sooner, bigger, whatever, this is when you start saying, I give consent only for this outcome. I recall, revoke, and remove any consent that seems to have been given by me explicitly or implicitly to have this outcome happen, or this timeline happen, or this whatever. I consent for this outcome. I make manifest that. I'm going to stop right now and picture this outcome the way I want it to be, and I'm going to have the intention that that be what is manifest. Okay? So let's take a look at what it was saying for this timeline, for myself and you. Looking forward, what will our world look like in 1 year? Okay. My Mother Earth card. The ultimate, we know, first of all, we're getting a nod here. There's going to be more of the divine feminine energy balancing out our world, which is a beautiful thing. We needed that. Part of our slavery existence has included an imbalance of divine masculine and divine feminine. So in 1 year, we're going to feel more divine feminine energy in our earth, in ourselves, because men can also have some divine feminine energy. Okay? That the nurture balances out the, I'll say warrior, but women can be warriors too. So I don't want to say that, but that's kind of a masculine type of energy. So again, in 1 year, we're going to see more balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine. And on the tell us more about this question, we're also being told that in 1 year, okay, some of the things we're worried about might be manifest are just not going to happen. And that's why you and I are part of that. Okay, where we picture the world we want it to be. We say that's what we give our consent for. And then we picture it and make it manifest. And to the greatest extent possible, live as if that is where we're at now. Okay? Recent past. We have the 9 of Wands. Again, 9s and 10s are getting close to endings. Okay? But I love this card because I call it my determination card. Okay? Humanity has not given up on their desire to be free. We have not bought into, slavery's inevitable and being ruled and directed is inevitable. We have stood firm, even though it has taken a toll. Okay? That determination card is going to be paying off. I say that in the present, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay? Again, another card with a lot of determination. Okay? Even though if you think that maybe others are holding these other wands, he's outnumbered. He's very determined. Okay? And it's kind of like against the odds. Doesn't care. Okay? He's standing firm. He knows what he wants. He knows where he wants to go. He knows his objective. And he is going to continue on. So we got a lot of perseverance and determination showing up here. Humanity is going to notice that they have an increase in their ability, their grit, okay, their resilience. We're going to be more aware of what we've survived and where we've come from and appreciate those increased freedoms, skills, and abilities. Okay. The near future card for this question is Justice card. Again, we're going to be seeing that justice is finally happening, some evening out of our, like I said, our skills, our abilities, technologies, what have you. Those should be starting to be more evident in our daily life in 1 year. Okay. In fact, with the 10 of Wands showing up here, I'd say that in 1 year we're going to be at the threshold of some really big changes, really big and beautiful changes. The Page of Pentacles is another reason that I say that. Now, this isn't our primary insight card, it's our secondary one, but this one talks about reliability and financial opportunity. So again, I think we're all going to be in a different place in a year, all of us. But those of us that are listening today, that are part of this positive energy and looking at events for this timeline, we're going to be seeing some big new changes that involve finances, health, and a balancing of the divine masculine and divine feminine energy on this plane of existence, which is a good thing, which is what we need. We don't need to be out of balance. We've had too much of that. Okay, let me grab those cards. I want to address something. I saw someone asking me to read about something that only one person is talking about right now. I think you're all aware that I have a pretty firm, not pretty firm, it's firm, a firm policy that I don't read about others in the truth-seeking community unless I'm sure I can do so with a 90% or better thumbs up. No one's ever going to get 100. And like I say, there's days I don't hit 90%. So I'm not going to do it on a live stream, number one. Okay? Because I truly am seeing the cards when you do. There's just no way around it. I might do it in a video, and when I see what the cards are starting to say, scrap that idea. My feeling is our truth-seeking, the alt media community is small enough, and evil is doing its damnedest to divide us. When we have so much we have in common, our hopes and dreams for humanity, for our country, for our world, I don't want to contribute to any divisions, period. Okay? That's why I never tell you also, I will never tell you, don't listen to so-and-so. I'll tell you, listen to everybody that you choose to listen to. But do it with your discernment on, even if it's me, well, especially if it's me, because I'm the one saying this. Use your discernment. And if someone speaks something that feels like it could be true, because we're learning new information that's been hidden from us every day, then accept it or say that sounds likely. I'm going to put it in my likely pile. And if someone comes out with something that they think is true, it doesn't make them a liar. It just means that they're thinking this is a truth. If it doesn't resonate with you, say, no, I'd need more information before I accepted that. That's kind of your maybe pile. And then you'll have a pile where as soon as you hear it, you go, that's a damn lie. There is no way in hell I am ever accepting that as truth. And I have some topics that are in that pile and will always be in that pile. Okay? So I don't want to do a read. If there's lots of people talking about the topic, then I might chime in on it too. If it's still just one voice, that kind of turns into an expose of that person, and I don't want to do that. Okay? And I don't want to cause any divisions in the truth community. We need to, first of all, when I was waking up, the truth community was already going. There were already some little tiffs and turf wars and scuffles going on. And they were a huge turnoff. I was trying to get rid of old programming and old lies and learn new information. And I didn't want to get sucked into any drama. I didn't want any damn drama. I wanted facts. I wanted information. I wanted truth. Okay? So I don't want to contribute to any of that energy. And I just encourage all of you. Okay? We can agree to disagree. There are some people in the truth community I dearly love, but I don't accept everything that they think is truth. It doesn't make them wrong. It just means that we're going to agree to disagree, and I'm only going to accept what feels true and right. All right. So my last question is from Carol L. She says, there is lots of construction going on in the state of Delaware that's not being discussed about what its purpose is too much. And Delaware isn't a huge state if you're familiar with United States geography. But she was wondering, is she seeing some med bed installations being built? You know, Delaware is pretty close to some major airports if people needed to fly in and out for health treatments, things like that. So let's just take a quick look at the construction going on in Delaware. Is I'm going to ask this, let's see. I want to be real specific and close any loopholes. So the construction in Delaware that my viewer, Carol L., has noticed, is any of it related to medbed technologies, healing centers, new technologies that will at some point, hopefully in the very near future, be available to all of us. Let's see and then other insights or information. This may be a fast one. We're just asking about specifically Delaware and that construction that's just not being explained to her satisfaction. I think there's enough malls that were closed during COVID that they don't need to build anything. They just need to repurpose some stuff. But hey, that's just me. But that tells you also I do believe that that's coming. You do too? Yeah. She really believes in the med beds. She also believes that it's late for her dinner. So I'm going to have to, this is another good reason to have this be the last question. Our first card is the Seven of Wands. Then we have the Seven of Cups. We have the Two of Wands. We have Death card. We have the Ten of Cups. I think you're onto something, Carol. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Now, again, less than what you would think statistically with 7 cards. You should have a couple of major arcanas. We only have one. It's the one in the center, the Death card. Okay. So that's saying that the information we're getting, okay, could be speeded up, slowed down, changed somewhat. Okay. That's not yet set firmly in the timeline. So got a determination card here going again with the Seven of Wands. So that's telling us that we're asking about the building. And yeah, the reason I'm saying that I think we're getting a yes, let's keep going here. Tell us more. We had the 7 here that's choices for. So first of all, some of that construction you're seeing is for other purposes. Okay, it's not all med beds, but I'm getting the feeling that there is, because we have in the recent past, we have the Two of Wands, which again, this is kind of my portal card too. As we walk through different gateways of reality and moving on and look at our world in a new way, it is going to unfold with the unveiling and free access to technologies that haven't been available to us. Okay. We got the transforming card with the Death, the long, slow change. We know that these technologies, I resent it personally, have been kept from us for decades, if not centuries, if not millennia. Okay. Or that it was here at one time and covered up so thoroughly it had to be rediscovered. But it has been, it's coming out, and hopefully this time it's a permanent availability. I say that because in the near future, we have the 10 of Cups, total celebration, okay? And it's a celebration that involves all ages, okay? Men, women, children, all nationalities, everybody. Again, it's getting total good vibe because we got the 9 of Pentacles here. She's a card with some independence and love, okay? But again, good things. Our earth is changing because pentacles are real things. They're money, they're real estate, they're real tangible things, and our bodies are tangible things, okay? Now, our less insightful card on this was the Four of Pentacles, okay? Now, he's one of kind of marshaling he can be miserly, but he's careful, okay? Now, kind of silly in his carefulness, because look, he's got this one sitting on top of his head. He's so busy keeping his feet on this one and this one in his hands. There's one he's not really watching out for. But basically, okay, it's using your resources wisely. So they are getting ready to use some resources that have not been evident to us yet, and we are going to benefit. It is part of that long, slow change that's been going on for humanity, for our world. Okay, good things there. And again, with only one major arcana, this is a good time for us to want to make manifest more medbed centers, more healing centers, because they may not just be med beds, made available to all sooner, not later. Okay, to an end to traditional medicine that does not seek to cure, okay, that creates lifetime customers, we can really put our powers of manifestation into that. All right. Okay. Well, it's been almost an hour. It's been lovely. I want to assure you again, I've done it every time. This time, like I said, I got a picture of it. Um, we had set this up to have live chat replay. If it doesn't happen this time, it's definitely YouTube shenanigans. But hopefully it will, because I'm seeing some beautiful comments that when I'm not so busy trying to talk and read the cards, I want to go back and read. Okay. So I do thank all of you for being here so much. This is longer than my usual content, but we covered, numerous topics. So that works out too. So until next time, and I will probably do a live stream next week. It may be Friday, it may be Saturday, it may be Sunday. We'll see. And part of it depends on my moderator, because she helps me during these. Okay. Oh, I do see one question there. What does arcana mean? Okay. The tarot deck is divided into what are called major and minor arcanas. Okay. The major arcanas have a word title and a number. There's 22 of them. Okay. If you put them in order, they go from 0 to 21. It's called the Fool's Journey. It's a soul's journey as it learns and grows, and a life journey. Okay. Now, when you have the minor arcana, those are like, if you think of a regular deck of cards, that's going to be the 1s to 10s on up through the kings, the aces to the kings. That's these guys. Okay. All right. So, but those are kind of questions you can Google, no problem, and they'll get it to you. And we'll do this again next week. And like I said, shortly I'll do another video on a single topic so that people that don't like live streams can still have some recent new created content to enjoy. So have a fabulous weekend. I wish you love and light and all things bright. And it's been fun. Bye.